You ever have one of those weeks where you just kind of feel like you've been knocked down to the mat, and then you tried to get back up, and then once you did, you got just knocked down again. Just a brutal way to get through the week. I had a week like that, especially a weekend like that, just a rough one. And I know for damn sure, seeing some of the games we had going on this weekend, I'm not the only one that feels that way. Sometimes when it rains, it pours. So I want to start with this because I feel like it is very due to be upfront. Last week, while I was recording the episode, I was watching the Monday Night Football game, Dolphins, Jets, and I said a few things. One of them was, uh, Tyreek Hill's really fun to watch play football. And then I missed it because I was recording, so I was like half paying attention to the game. He had just made a big catch. And then I said that, and then a few plays later, I believe that is when he destroyed his leg completely. So that may be on me a little bit. I'm not going to say that 100%, but I did put that out there, and that's my bad on that. I'll own that one. That's on me. The Dolphins are still bad at football. They were bad with Tyreek Hill, but I think they're still bad now. Just way worse, if we're being honest. But now you can't even trade him to get something that you actually needed, so that kind of sucks. That's a tough spot to be in. But yeah, I did say Tyreek Hill is very fun to watch play football, and then he immediately, almost immediately, got severely injured, and and his season is now over, and most likely his time in Miami, which is a little poetic if you think about it. In that, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's that poetic. I just kinda said that, and it didn't really mean anything when I said it, and was just like, "Well, I'll think of something in the moment," but I did not, if we're being transparent. Didn't think of anything in the moment there, but that's okay. That is totally fine. Um, yeah, so my bad, Tyreek Hill. Anyway, up to this week. Let's start off with, before I get into my whole thing, let's start off with Saturday. Penn State, you're garbage. I think that seems fair. At this point, you've lost 2 in a row, and the most recent one was to the UCLA Bruins, who fired their head coach last week before. So maybe not great for you. If I'm a Nittany Lions fan, maybe Penn State is shitty. I don't like Drew Aller, and I think that proved it. Also, that was you lost in the whiteout game. That sucked, and then you followed up with an even worse loss than losing in the whiteout game. So, way to be fucking on that one. Uh, Like, I think you guys are out of the top 25 at this point. Um, and it makes sense. It makes sense. You deserve to not be in it. I think a lot of the stuff that was keeping you there was very much that that you were there preseason. Preseason number 2, right up there with Texas, who was preseason number 1, and they're also out of the top 25. Do I really like the top 25? No, not particularly, but it does add this little bit of drama to it. There's a little bit of fun for the fans because now people get to talk shit to each other. They have that kind of feeling of like, "What the fuck just happened?" type of thing. And I think that's really fun. That's really important to the sport. So, yeah, is the AP poll perfect the way it's set up right now? No, and I've been giving it time to really figure itself out, but to have the top 2 teams coming into the season drop off and be out of the top 25, I think that's what makes it so great. I think that's what makes it so good. We saw the steady, constant slide of these 2 teams, and now they're out of it, and it's like, "Yeah, fuck you guys for thinking you should even be there." I think that is what makes the voting so awesome. I know that, I might be a little late on this topic. It was a bigger deal beforehand, like a couple weeks ago, with the voters having some wild ass votes, keeping people in, and where they're putting Florida and all these things. And I didn't really have much of an opinion on it, but now I'm starting to once I saw that, I realized, like, "Oh, this is what it is for. This is what makes it so fucking good and so fun to see that you have these biases." And now it's good for fans. It's good for the sport, and it's good for fans. It doesn't have to be accurate. It not being accurate to what people think is what makes it so fun. And watching the teams move up and down and the slide and oh, these guys are actually good. We didn't even think they would be this good. And now they're in the top 25. And oh, these 2 guys were at the fucking top and now they're out of it. Fuck yes. That is interesting. It's exciting. It fuels fan bases and it makes you buy in more. It makes you more passionate. And that's how it should be. You should want to be more passionate about your fucking team. That's what makes being a sports fan in general so great. We've got the, baseball MLB playoffs going on right now, and that's been fantastic. I've never had so much fun watching baseball. Also, if you're a Penn State fan and you just so happen to be a Phillies fan, brutal weekend because the Eagles lost as well. So you lost you lost on Saturday. You lost, what was it, the NLDS, um, game 1, and then you lost against the Broncos, who had a really good comeback against the Eagles. So, yeah, if I'm a fan of Philadelphia sports, fuck. Brutal weekend for you, especially the way that all those losses happened. That sucks for you guys. Not for the rest of us who don't really give a shit about any of those teams, but for you guys, that's brutal, and I do feel bad. But hopefully, I like seeing the passion. I like seeing people getting upset about it. I like people throwing it in their faces, the friends talking shit, the rivalry. That's what makes it so fun, and that's what makes it so good. If we didn't have that, what would be even the fucking point of watching it? If you don't care what happens, why do you even have the game on? Oh, I just love the sport. Well, pick a team and root for them, okay? None of this fake little bullshit going on. Shit gets old. It's not good. You wanna have that spark. You wanna fight with your friends. Have you sat down and watched a game with your buddies when your 2 teams are playing? It's so much more fun to be passionate about the game that's on. I get passionate about teams that aren't even mine just because I see things that I'm curious about and I have a stance on, and then I wanna go seek justification. Now, when I'm wrong, I don't care as much, but when I'm right, I get fucking stoked because it's like, "Fuck you, I told you so," in your face. I win, you lose, you're dumb, I'm smart, you're an idiot, I am the greatest football fan of all time. Is that accurate? No, but that's how it feels in the moment to be right about something. That's how it feels, and it's so much better to actually care and have that passion than it is to, "Oh, well, I'm just not gonna care. Let me just go let me go spend 3 hours on something I don't care about." See how many times I keep doing that? If you keep coming back after that, you're a psycho. You are a psycho. Because what are you d why are you watching it if you don't care about it? Like, doesn't that make sense? Doesn't make any fucking sense. I'll tell you this, I don't give a shit about The Golden Bachelor, and so I don't watch it. Doesn't that make sense? Because it feels like that makes sense. But hey, maybe you guys do. Maybe you don't care about The Golden Bachelor at all, but you wanna be up to date with all the maybe these sexy older ladies that you're trying to get involved. I don't know, it's not my job to figure out. But that seems dumb to me. I'd rather care about what's on. Even if I don't really care about the team, I'm gonna find a way to care. That's just how it is, and that's how it should be, because it's gotta matter to somebody, so why not you? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my stance on the whole thing. It's gotta matter to somebody, so why not you? And if it matters to your friend, rub it in their face. The only thing that should matter if it matters to your friend, you either root for them or you root against them. Who gives a shit? Pick a side, and when they pull through, now you guys can cheer together, and when they don't, fuck them. You can rub it in their face. It is so much fun. If you haven't gotten into a fight with your friends about sports, are you guys even friends? Isn't that what friends are for? To disagree with someone who knows you really well and be passionate about something, and you guys know exactly which buttons to press? I thought that's what friends were for. Getting close with someone so they can get to know you a little bit. And they know how to piss you off, and they have a good time doing it because at some point, you're gonna do the same back to them. But now I kinda I'm gonna jump into some disappointment here. Some things that sting, which is this is the natural way it goes, being a sports fan. Sometimes you have a tough week. Sometimes you have a tough day. And sometimes you wanna feel good at the end of it. And sometimes that feeling good comes from your team, watching them play on Sunday Night Football like I did with the Buffalo Bills up against the New England Patriots. I had a bad day. I had a bad weekend. Started off really good, and then it crumbled downhill right underneath my feet. I was getting all these picks that I had put in and all these bets I had put in for the gambling, for picking all these spreads and stuff for the NFL Sunday, and it all didn't feel the same because I got some really bummer news. I'd gone out with a very fun young lady on Friday night. We had a great time. Um, Things seemed to be going really well. The day ended, and Sunday came around, and I was like, "Hey, well, do you want to go out again?" And she was like, "Look, I think we vibe really well. I think that you're great. I think you're a lot of fun. I think you're very funny to a lot." She said, "I think you're very funny. I think you're very fun to be around. Just not what I'm looking for right now." And I respect that. I am not upset with her at all. I think she's a fantastic person, and I'm glad that if we see each other in the future, even socially, it's not gonna be awkward at all. We're gonna be totally fine. I think that's great. I love that. The part that stings a little bit is that she is a Patriots fan, and so as I'm clinging to a little bit of like, "Well, let me salvage my weekend," and the Bills are gonna go out and win at home. I'm not crazy about these alternate rival uniforms, the all whites. I mean, they're kinda cool, but they're just not for me. And then we lost to her favorite team, and it just stung a little deeper. You know what I mean? Like, things like that just dig in, where it's you have all these kinda all these emotions invested in this game, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I I'm a passionate fan. I love the Bills that much, and it was like, "You know what? We didn't get the second date like we thought we would. Everything went great. I have no ill will against her, but a small little victory that I could take from this is that my team is going to go out on Sunday night while the world is watching, and they're going to beat her team, also one of my best friend, Breck Michael, who I do Rudy Tuesday with, his favorite team. It'd be very nice to get that little win of my team beating the shit out of their collective favorite team, which just so happens to be the Patriots, who kicked the shit out of us for a very long time. I was like, that will save my weekend. And then the Bills fucked around and lost by 3 points at home to the Drake May and Mike Rabel New England Patriots. It was the worst end to a weekend I've had in a long time. I'm fine. I'm fine the if the Bills had lost the game, but for 1 to lose it so close, and for 2 to lose it in a situation where I had put a little bit of extra emotional investment into the game, that it just stung that much more, and that's kind of what's so one of the things that I also love about being a sports fan, being a football fan, is that you can add those extra incentives that are a little more personal to you into these games, and then you go in and you root for your guys, and there's something about it that just feels better, it feels different. It it's just it enhances the experience is really the only way to describe it. It enhances the experience, and I love that in the game. But it man, did it fucking suck, dude. It sucked to have had that result after the kind of out of nowhere feeling of not getting the second date. And was I upset that I didn't get the second date? Of course I was, because it felt like we both had a great time. She said that we vibed really well together. She had fun. It just wasn't what she's looking for. Again, I get that. But when I went ahead and I added this extra personal stake onto this football game, which was probably a little foolish on my part. I had heard people saying all week that they thought this was gonna be the Patriots' time to go out and get one, and that's why I didn't bet on this game, because the gambler in me knew that that was probably the way everyone was talking about it. I was like, "They're going to at least cover." So I'm not gonna put any money on this because that just feels wrong. Because 'cause I'm not that's what I thought would happen, but I will never bet against the Bills, 'cause I'm just that's not a good fan. Good fans don't bet against their team just because the money's right, okay? You can buy my loyalty anywhere else in the sports world. You cannot buy my loyalty from the Buffalo Bills. I refuse to let that happen. That's just not me. And so I didn't put money on this game, and then it stung because of all these other reasons, and it really set up a bummer of a day and was a terrible cap to to a, kind of a rough weekend. But now I'm just kinda rambling on the topic. It's just so fresh in my mind, but there's 3 of us who are gonna hear this, so it doesn't really matter, but it was tough. It was tough to go out and get the heartbreaking loss, and then that be followed up by, another heartbreaking loss with my team losing. But I gotta be honest, one team that I'm kind of glad that they lost is the Browns. I did not watch this game. I wanted Dylan Gabriel to be good. I looked at the box score. He seemed okay for what it was. I'm an eye test guy, so I don't know how it really looked, but I know they were leading for a decent chunk of time. And then they lost, closing seconds, Jordan Addison touchdown, game winner. I get that, but you played a close game. I think you probably seemed more explosive with Dylan Gabriel, a little more mobility. You covered the spread, I believe, so go Browns on that. But all these Browns fans, I'm kind of glad that they lost because honestly, a little bit like, fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Like I've had the Bears backs. I've had a little bit of the Packers backs, and I've had a little bit of the Browns backs, and I really did going into this weekend. And there was some commentary when they said, "Hey, we're benching Joe Flacco and we're going with Dylan Gabriel." I was like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you got to put Shador in. How are you not going to put Shador in?" I was like, "Look, let's just trust that the two-time coach of the year and the guy in 2023 who won 11 games with 5 different starting quarterbacks, let's just trust that maybe he knows a little bit more about his team than we do. He knows a little bit more about football than we do, and he knows what quarterback can go out and execute the offense that they're trying to execute and who's ready to be in that role." And I put that online, and Browns fans called me a gay nerd, and so fuck you guys. I'm glad you lost. I was rooting for Dylan Gabriel, and I wanted you to win so I could prove you guys fucking wrong, but I'm also real happy that you fucking lost because what a bunch of fucking losers Browns fans are. I know one Browns fan, and it's not even his favorite team. He says it's his favorite team out of respect, but he's really a Tampa Bay fan. He's really a Baker Mayfield fan, okay? So fuck Browns fans. Fuck Browns fans. You guys suck. What a bunch of piss poor losers you guys are for being fans of Cleveland. Jesus Christ, I tried so hard to be on your guys' side and like, no, give it time. Wait and see, wait and see. And then I got attacked for pointing out, oh, maybe this head coach knows what he's doing because he has the resume that shows he might know what he's doing. And you guys were all pissy because Shador Sanders isn't playing quarterback. Let me tell you this. He's fucking an immature little asshole, if you ask me. Okay. And this may be me getting a little fired up and a little emotional, but anyone who thinks that Shador Sanders is fucking ready to go and lead their franchise, you're not paying fucking attention. Okay? You're just being contrarian and you dug your heels in and you're being fucking stupid. There's a reason that the Browns coaching and management staff took Dylan Gabriel before they took Shador Sanders. The only reason they took Shador Sanders is because the owner made them. But they saw all the things in the interviews that you didn't see, and they know how to think about these fucking things, and they went, "Oh, he's immature, he's not ready." Or maybe he's just not a good fit with what we have here. So we're going to take a guy who's a better fit for what we already have established, and then we can grow quicker into a winning franchise. You ever think about that, you fucking morons? Probably fucking not. Because you're fucking retarded. Shador Sanders is not ready to be a starting quarterback. Okay? He's gotten multiple 100-mile-an-hour speeding tickets. You don't want that from your starting quarterback. he is constantly beating around the bush and saying, like, weird stuff in his interviews. I don't listen to all of them. This is things I've heard because I don't give a shit about the Browns at all. I don't care about Dylan Gabriel. I don't care about Shedeur Sanders. But when things make the news, I kinda keep tabs on it a little bit here and there passingly. There's 32 fucking teams and I'm one guy, and there's college on top of that, so I pay attention to a lot of shit. I'm sorry I don't have all the quotes to pull out from fucking Shedeur Sanders media interviews he did on fucking Wednesday afternoon. No one gives a fuck, okay? Trust that the coaching staff doesn't have him starting for a fucking reason, you bunch of jackasses. And maybe, just maybe, think about, oh, why wouldn't he start? Not why should he, why wouldn't he? Put your thinking cap on a little bit, you generic fuck. And go, oh, maybe he's not ready to start because maybe he doesn't know the playbook that well. I don't know. That's possible. It's not impossible. Maybe he performs poorly in film. Maybe he's got bad decision making because he struggles with the offense. Maybe he's not a good fit for what they do there, and Dylan Gabriel is. Maybe he's not starting because he mimes his interviews when asked questions. And yeah, it's he can't exist type of shit. But also, no, it isn't. Because it's like, oh, he gets in trouble for what he does say, and then he gets in trouble for what he doesn't say. He wasn't doing that. He made an immature decision to do a silent interview where he mouthed his responses. What the fuck are you doing? You want to be the leader of a franchise, and you're being a fucking idiot. Get it the fuck together. You turn down calls from the Ravens. You could be starting for the Ravens right now. You're like, nah, I don't want to play there. I don't want to sit behind one of the best quarterbacks in the league who's adapted his game since becoming a rookie and become less of a runner and an incredibly better passer, an incredibly better thrower of the football. Why would I want to go sit behind him for a year or two and then maybe get traded? Or for my whole rookie contract, now I'm ready to go somewhere else and maybe I can compete for a starting job. What keeps Shedeur Sanders from starting is his fucking ego and his lack of maturity. It's a billion-dollar franchise. They're not going to make someone the face of it if he's not ready to be the face of it. They're not going to... Stefanski isn't going to put a fucking quarterback out there who's not ready to fucking go. And maybe that's just what it is. Maybe Shedeur Sanders isn't ready to execute this offense. Maybe he's not as good in the locker room as Dylan Gabriel is. The guys don't believe in him as much. Do you ever think of that? I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know exactly why coaching and management chose to go with Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know why they made Joe Flacco QB2 instead of QB3 and bumped up Shedeur Sanders. Maybe because if they get to a point where we got to pull the starter, they're going to be in a situation where they need a veteran to go in and just execute the offense. Make a couple throws. Let's see how... Oh, you're struggling with this defense through 3 quarters? There's half of the 4th quarter left. Let's let Joe Flacco go in and kind of process things and work through it, and you can watch what he's doing to work with this defense. You ever think of fucking that? That's why he's QB2? Also, maybe it's just respect out of what he's done for the franchise. You ever fucking think of that? No. No. Because Browns fans fucking suck, and for whatever reason, they desperately want Shedeur Sanders to be in there and hopefully lead the offense. I think you guys don't you look at the box score and you don't understand it. I didn't watch this game. I had shit going on fucking Sunday morning. I'm not a huge guy on the overseas games for that reason because I'm busy Sunday morning. I can't watch the games. I looked at the box score. Did Dylan Gabriel have a great game? No. But who the fuck are we to assume that Shedeur Sanders would be any better? You guys weren't at practices. You guys don't sit in the film room. You don't know what he's struggling with and what he's not struggling with. Give me a fucking break, man. God forbid I fucking trust the guy who's a paid professional in the sport of coaching pro football and maybe go, you know what? He's making a decision that I'm sure is best for the team. Let's see what happens. He has more information than I have, and you guys are so quick to call him wrong. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Just like the people who are like, oh, Sean McDermott and Joe Brady need to be fired. You guys are fucking idiots. Okay? You guys are fucking idiots. I'm a Bills fan. I understand that Bills fans are emotional. I'm emotional when it comes to the Bills as well. I slam up and I crash down hard. But Jesus Christ, man, we've seen a lot of good stuff from both those coaches. We've seen Joe Brady call a good off and put up a ton of fucking points. It didn't go their way this time. We lose a lot of games, man. I think the Patriots might just be good at football. I think they just might be better than we expected. Is that impossible? Is that unheard of? Not to mention it's a division rival. Give me a fucking break, dude. You think we should he lost one game, so we obviously should fire the entire coaching staff. That makes a lot of sense. That'll get us into the playoffs this year. That'll right the ship and get us to the Super Bowl, which is this year we have one of the best openings we've had in a couple years because the teams that usually beat us look really bad. So God forbid we keep the coaches around who have gotten us this far for the past 8+ years, however many long it is. God forbid we trust them to do their jobs. I'm glad we lost a game. Did I think we were going to lose this one? No. Do I wish it came a little later in the season? Yeah. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm glad we lost. I'm glad we got the monkey off the back. Now we can sit and be relaxed and feel good about the wins to come. Yeah, we got a couple great wins early. Perfect. Now we got a loss in week 5. I'm cool with that. Let's not forget the taste of losing. So that way when we come back in the playoffs, we're not fucking burnt out and tired and we've lost that fight. I'm glad we lost. I'm glad we lost the way that we did. We struggled with turnovers. We struggled with keeping the ball safe. We had a lot of fumbles. Josh Allen threw a pick. That's bad, yeah. That's really bad. But those are correctable mistakes. That's all fixable shit. And sometimes you just overlook an opponent. Sometimes the opponent's better than you expected. Maybe let's start realizing that everyone in the NFL gets paid to play and coach professional football. They're really good at their fucking jobs, okay? The Saints and the Patriots both get paid to play football too. So yes, that is why the game was so close against the Saints, because 15.5 is a fucking ridiculous spread for an NFL game. That's a college number. That makes no sense. The only reason I didn't bet the Saints last week and bet the Patriots this week is because I don't bet against the Bills. If I had to tell you which way I would go, I would have bet on both those teams to cover. I didn't put any money on it because I'll never put money on it. I'll never put money up against the Bills. But those were the smart picks. Those made the most sense. I didn't bet on it because it wasn't going to happen. That's foolish. That's being dumb. Maybe the Patriots are just better than we thought they were. That doesn't mean Sean McDermott and Joe Brady should get fired. Offense wasn't humming today. We played some bad football. That's how it is. Fucking get them next week. We're going to be fine. You think we're just going to bounce back and turn to shit? No. We've got a ton of injuries going on. And New England just fucking had our number today. That's it. We're not down and out. We're not done for the season. That didn't make or break. We're not going to miss the playoffs because we lost one game. Does it suck that it was the Patriots? Yes. Does it suck that it was Sunday Night Football at home? Yes. Does it suck that it was in those uniforms that for some reason a lot of people like that I'm not a huge fan of? Yeah, I guess that sucks. I don't really give a shit about that. I like the old uniforms. Sue me. But give me a break. This is fucking crazy, man. Like, I didn't get the chance to watch a lot of football again this weekend. That's just how it's been going for me. It's very unfortunate. But fucking come on, man. Getting pissy about the stupidest shit. God forbid I defend a guy who might have a little bit more information than I do. If you know so fucking much, well, how about you go apply to be a head fucking coach in the NFL? You go get a job in the NFL and you tell me what the fuck to do then. Prove it. Because otherwise you're just some stupid bitch sitting on their phone fucking typing up their thoughts. No one gives a fuck about that. Give me a fucking break, dude. I'm just some guy sitting in a fucking basement talking to a microphone by himself. Who gives a fuck? No one cares about this. No one cares about my opinion. Just like no one cares that you think Shedeur Sanders should fucking start. Give me a fucking break, dude. I give a fuck. And you know what? The Browns were in that game. That was a tight fucking game for what it was. You were hanging with the Vikings, who should be considered a much better team than you. So, looking at the stat line, did Gabriel have the best game? No. Does it seem as though that the offense had a little bit more pop to it? It kind of seems that way, yeah. Kind of seems like maybe it wasn't as bad as you fucking guys thought. Do you ever think of fucking that? That's how it seems to me. Seems to me like you guys are a bunch of fucking ungrateful jackasses. Appreciate the fact that you got a 2-time head coach of the year. Appreciate that. Because when he's gone, he's going to go to some other organization because he's going to get snatched up real fucking quick. He will get another head coaching job if he gets fired or leaves the Browns. And if he gets any kind of remote organization that's run, I don't know, a quarter of the way better, he's gonna be a stud. Honestly, if he was coaching the Dallas Cowboys right now, the Cowboys would be a fucking dangerous team. Yeah, they're putting up numbers. I guess Dak Prescott's making some MVP noise. But I don't feel as though they're a threat to a Super Bowl. You go ahead. You put Kevin Stefanski over there. 2 years, they're gonna be a NFC Championship contender. In 2 years. He's a fucking really good head coach. And you Browns fans, you're just so ungrateful. You're so ungrateful and you're so fucking stupid, honestly. A bunch of fucking total fucking morons, if you ask me. Seriously. I can't believe you guys sometimes. It's just be happy for what you have, man. It's not as bad as you think. I don't know why you're acting like it's oh so horrible. You're in a great spot. You got a great head coach. You got a couple quarterbacks looking good. You've got an elite defense. Yeah, do you guys need to kind of, you know, figure some shit out? Yeah. What fucking team doesn't? You're rebuilding. Maybe you fuck around and you get another quarterback next year. How about that? Huh? Huh? How about that? Fucking idiots. Piss me off. Call me a gay nerd because I said the 2-time coach of the year might know more about football than you. and all I said was, "Oh, I'm gonna trust him that he knows what he's doing," because we have no information. Fuck you guys. Fuck Browns fans. I'm so done with you guys. I'm rooting against the Browns every fucking weekend for the rest of the season. I don't care who the quarterback is. Shador Sanders, when he was doing that miming interview, fucking, I didn't like his hair. I put that on Twitter too. I was like, that's not a starting quarterback hairdo. What the fuck did he have going on? Why is there a separation between like the front of your hair and then your cornrows? Do it all or don't. That's a weird hairdo, man. That's not starting quarterback hair. The fuck, that may seem trivial, but there's a certain thing, there's a certain reflection you want from your starting quarterback. And what that reflection is maturity and good decision making. That haircut looked like a bad fucking choice to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm glad Shador is not starting. I'm not big on him. I don't think he's going to be that good, at least not right now. I think he's a little overhyped. I understand the concerns with Dylan Gabriel. He's smaller. I wouldn't say he proved a ton at Oregon, but that doesn't mean he's the wrong guy for this job. Doesn't mean he can't execute in this position. You guys are just ungrateful. You're ungrateful. I had a shitty weekend, but I'm glad the Browns lost. I'm glad they lost. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. I know. Oh, we're supposed to, like, a sports podcast is supposed to, like, reflect on, oh, the big wins and what did we learn. I don't give a shit about that, okay? I'm glad the Browns fucking went out and lost that fucking football game because the fans are such pieces of shit. And that is a generalization, and maybe that's not fair to all of them. I'm sure there are a lot of cool Browns fans out there, but either way, if you're a cool Browns fan, how about you go straighten out the shitty ones? How about that? Go make them be fans of Penn State or some other loser. Get them off you. You don't need them. Get them off you. Oklahoma State. Tell them to go be fans of that team. But Jesus Christ, what a bunch of sad sacks. What a bunch of sad sacks. I mean, it's easy to call out fan bases when they're being shitty. Bears fans were being shitty after the first 2 weeks. But if you just watched Caleb Williams, he got better. And now they're 2-2, won 2 games in a row, went into a bye week, and now they have a full like 2 weeks to prepare for their next game. And I bet you they come out blazing. I bet you they look way better now. All you had to do was believe in them, didn't you, Chicago? Now, Cleveland, how about you do the same thing? How about you believe don't believe in the quarterback, believe in the coach. Believe that he knows what he's doing. Football teams are just like Santa Claus. You don't believe in them, it's not going to work out, man. They're not going to show up. You don't believe in them. That's just how it fucking goes. I don't give a shit. Figure it the fuck out, Browns fans. Figure it the fuck out. I'm sitting here waiting for Monday Night Football to start. Chiefs, Jags. I hope the Jags smack them. Hope they smack them. I hate the Chiefs so much. But I did hear someone say that the Chiefs running backs were due. So we're probably going to bet Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown score tonight. So this is on record. 7:50 p.m. before Monday Night Football kickoff. We're probably going to play Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown. It was like plus 390 when I looked at it at the gym. So we'll see how that goes. Can't believe the Titans won a game. That caught me off guard. I should have been hip to that, but I was so disappointed with them after last week when I had bet on them to cover at plus 7.5 against who did they play last week? Doesn't matter. Oh, they played Houston. And through 3 quarters, it was 6-0, and then in the 4th quarter, they gave up 20 points, so I was betrayed by Tennessee, and there was a brief moment where I was like, maybe their quarterback calling the entire team ass would be the spark they needed to go out and cover this spread, and then they did, so, I was right on that, and I didn't trust my gut instinct. I'm gonna start betting more with my gut, I think, and just going like, that could be the case, and we'll see what happens. I had a decent weekend against the spread. I think it was 7-2 against the spread, so that was pretty good. That may have just been me getting hot. I mean, a lot of my other picks lost, so I ended up overall like 9-8 or something through Sunday night. But still, you know what I mean? It's still a fucking whatever. You win some, you lose some. On that, wish I just stuck with the spreads. Those prop bets, man, those prop bets, they fucking kill me. They really get me. Didn't think that the Malik Neighbors injury was gonna hurt the Giants as much as I think it did. I really thought that, because he had a small game last week with the injury, 3 targets, 2 catches, 20 yards. I was like, okay, so that's not really that impactful of a game overall. And then the Giants struggled a little bit, only scored 14 points. Not the best, especially against the Saints, but fumbles hurt them. A lot of fumbles because there was a ton of fumbles in the Sunday night football game, Bills Pats as well on both sides of the ball. I mean, it obviously came to hurt more on the Bills side, but it's very strange between Derrick Henry, the Giants game, Sunday night football. It seems like we've got a lot of fumbles going on this year. I don't know if that's the defense getting better at punching them out, or if dudes are just fucking not squeezing the rock as hard. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're trying to make more moves, and I have no idea, but it just feels like we've got a lot of fumbles going on across the league. It's very strange, way more than average. It feels like they're way up. Maybe I'm wrong. That could just be me thinking that. I have no fucking idea, but that does seem to be the case, doesn't it? If you don't look at any numbers, you're just like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with all these fucking fumbles? It's really weird. I can't figure it out, but that's fucking what it is. I think. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But anyway, I think that's the show for today, guys. Oh, we didn't do a come on the back, did we? A come on the back. Whose back got came upon this past week? Oh, this one's gonna hurt, but I think I know what it is. God, it's really gonna hurt to do this. Unfortunately for me, I think the come on the back of the week might be the New England Patriots. Not that they had a huge comeback in the game in terms of the game, but I think as an organization, that has to feel like such a big win. I'm sure Patriots fans are like, "Oh, we fucking stay winning. You you put the word on the streets, tell them we back up." That's gotta be the vibe that they're feeling right now, getting the big win on the road against the Buffalo Bills. If I'm a Patriots fan, I feel like we've come back and we're back in contention. That's how I would feel if I was them. So, credit where it's due. It stings me now, stung me then, will sting me in the future, but come on the back of the week is the New England Patriots. You guys deserve it. I mean, what else is there to say? But that's the show for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy a little bit of this, kind of hanging out, a little more emotional kind of football stuff, if you just like joking around, go ahead and listen to the Rudy Tuesday podcast. That is new episodes every Tuesday for Rudy Tuesday. We just had a special guest on our episode that came out the day before this. Very funny comedian Jenna Trudeau. I do that show every week with co-host Breck Michael and Rudy Marinosi. That is Rudy Tuesday. Find it on Instagram. Go ahead and check us out on Pat on the Back 25 on Twitter. That's where we put all the hot takes that sometimes they don't make it to the show. Sometimes those are in the moment reactions, stuff that we are just thinking in the moment. Monday morning quarterback takes, Tuesday morning hot takes, the fucking um what is the Wild at One parlay gets posted on there. So please feel free to go check that out on Pat in the Back 25 on Twitter. We'd really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for the support, and we hope you guys keep coming back.